the third chapter. Chapter 3, the third noble truth, Nirodha, the cessation or dukkha. The third noble truth is that there is emancipation, liberation, freedom from suffering, from the continuity or death, dukkha. That's called the noble truth or the cessation or dukkha, Nirodha, Dhyasisa, which is nirvana, more properly known in this Sanskrit form or nirvana. To eliminate dukkha completely, one has to eliminate the main root of dukkha, which is thus, as we saw earlier. Therefore, nirvana is known also by the T, Daknakaya, extinction or thus now US. But what is nirvana? Volume had been written in reply to this quite natural and simply question. They has more and more only confused the issue rather than clarifying it. The only reasonable reply to the question is that it can never be answered completely and satisfactorily in one, because human language is too poor to express the real nature of the absolute true or ultimate reality, which is nirvana. Language is created and used by masses of human beings to express things and ideas experienced by their sense organ and the mind. Their mind is supermundane experience like that or the absolute truth is not or such as a category. Therefore, there cannot be word to express that experience, just as the first fish and no words in this voluntary vocabulary to express the nature of the soul lamb. That tortoise told his friend that tortoise just returned to the lake after a walk on the highland. Of course, the fish said, "You may swim in." That tortoise trying to explain that one couldn't swim on the land, that it was so, and thus walk on it. But the fish instead that there could be nothing like it. That might be liquid like his leg, which weighs, and thus one might be able to dry and think there. What are symbols representing things and ideas? No do such, and these symbols do not act, cannot convey the nature, the true nature, or even ordinary things. Language is considered disputed and misleading in the matter of understanding of the truth. So the Lokata Sutra says that ignorant people get stick in words like an elephant in the mud. Nevertheless, we cannot do without language, but nirvana is to be explained in positivity. We are likely immediately to read in idea associated with those things, which may be quite the contrary. Therefore, it is generally expressed in negative things, in less ranges, more moderate perhaps. So it is often referred to by such as negative things as Dhanakaya, extension or task asankaya, and confound and conditional with karaka, absent of the desire, nirvana, cessation, nirvana, flowing out or extinction. Let us consider a few definitions and distribution of nirvana as found in the original Pali text. It is the complete cessation of the very task, the now given it as denouncing it, emancipation from it, detachment from it, thinking of all condition, nothing given at all development, extension or task, detachment, cessation or nirvana. Or breakthrough, what is the fate absolutely unconditional? It is all breakthrough, the extension or desire, the extension or hatred, the extension or illusion. This breakthrough is called the absolute. Oh, Rahula, Nanda. The extension or task is nirvana or breakthrough. Whatever there are many things, conditions, or aggression among these. Detachment is the highest level or the highest, that is to say, freedom from conceit, restriction or thoughts, the uprooting or attachment, the cutting out a continuity, the extension or thoughts, detachment, cessation or nirvana, the multiplying or sati portal, the chi discipline all these products to a right question was nirvana, posed by Pati Vachakas is identical with the definition of asamota given by the Buddha's above. The extension of desire, the extension of hatred, the education or illusion, the abundance and destruction of desire and craving for the 5 decades of attachment, then there is the cessation of dukkha, the cessation of continuity and becoming is nirvana, and further referring to nirvana, the Buddha says, O people, there is the unborn, ungrown, and unconditional, or there are not dead, unborn, ungrown, and unconditional. There will be no escape from that form, growth, and correction. Since there is the unborn, ungrown, and unconditional, so there is escape from that form, growth, and correction. Here, the 4 elements or solidity, fluidity, heat, and motion had on place. The notion of land and brand, reach, the state and the growth, good and evil, name and form are altogether destroyed. Neither has own what or known, the other not coming, going, or standing. Neither does or but no sin object and ati to be found, because nirvana is thus expressed in negative thing. There are many who has no cause to ground, nothing that is the negative expressed self annihilation. Nirvana is definitely no annihilation of self, because there is no self to annihilate. It is all. It is the annihilation of the illusion or the false idea or self. It's incorrect to say that nirvana is negative or positive. The idea of negatives and positive are related and are within this realm of duality. These things cannot be applied to nirvana absolute truth, which is beyond duality and duality. Relativity. A negative word needs to necessarily indicate a negative state. The Pali or Sanskrit word for hate is arrogant. Hate is arrogant. A negative thing which literally means absent or illness, but arrogance hate does not represent a negative state. The word immoral or its Sanskrit equally amateur or Pali amateur, which also is synonym for nirvana, is negative, but it does not denote a negative state. The negation or negative value is not negative. One of these well-known synonyms for nirvana is freedom, Pali, mochi or mukhi. Nobody will say the freedom is negative, but even freedom has a negative side. Therefore, freedom is always a liberation from something which is obstinate, which is evil, which is negative, but free from is not negative. So nirvana's moti or vimoti, the absolute freedom, is freedom from all evil, freedom from craving, hatred, and ignorance, freedom from all trees or duality, relativity, time and space. We make us some idea of nirvana as absolute truth from the Danta Vibhanga Sutra, Dhatu Vibhanga Sutra, number 140. For the Majjhima Nikaya, this extremely important discourse was delivered by the Buddha to Bhikkhu Sati, already mentioned, whom the master found to be intelligent and in earnest in the quest of the nice in a profound state. The example of the related chronia of this state is Sutta is as follows. Hima is composed of 6 elements, flirty, heat, motion, space, and consciousness. He always done and find that none of this is my or me or myself. He understands how consciousness appear and disappear, how pleasant, unpleasant, and mutual sensation appear and disappear. Through this knowledge, his mind became detached. Then the fire within his in a pure equanimity, which he can rise toward the attachment or the any high spiritual state, and he knows that has pure equanimity or result for long period, but then he forgot this purify and cleanness equanimity on this sphere of this infinite space and develop a mind conforming theory that is a mere suggestion. If I focus this purify and cleanness equanimity on the sphere of infinite consciousness, on the sphere of noneness, nothingness, or this sphere of neither possession or non-possession, and develops a mind conforming the truth as matter creation, then he neither mentally creates nor waits continually and become a annihilation, as he does not construct or does not wait continue and become an annihilation. He does not cling to anything in the world, as he does not cling he is to anything, as he is no anything. He is completely clean, come within full blown out with Visita, Ya, Pati Nirvana, and he know finish is past, let is pure life, what should be done is done, what should be done is done, nothing more is left to be done. Now when he Now when he experience a pleasant, unpleasant, or merely mutual sensation, he knows that it is impermanent, that does not fit him, that it does not experience with passion, whether maybe the sensation he experience is without being good or to it. He knows that all these sensations will be purified, is fine with the dissolution of this body, just as the flame or a lamp goes out when iron and with give out. Therefore, opaque with a person so endure with this absolute wisdom, for the knowledge of the extension of all Doka is the absolute noble wisdom. That is this Nirvana from or this truth is unshakable or playable, that which is and reality is false, that which is reality. Nirvana is true, therefore, Opegu a person so endure with this absolute truth. For the absolute noble truth, Pratima Atiyaka is Nirvana, which is reality, is where the Buddha equally used the word equally use the word truth is place on Nirvana. I will reach you, teach you the truth and the path leading to the truth. Here, truth definitely means Nirvana. Now, what is absolute truth? According to the Buddhism, the absolute truth is that there is nothing absolute in the world, thus everything is related, creation and impermanent, and thus there is no unchanging, everlasting, absolute, absent, like such, truth or Atma within our without this the absolute truth. Truth never negative, so there is a popular expression in negative truth, the realization of the truth as well, to see things as they are, without illusion or ignorance, is a distinction or craving, thoughts, and the situation of dukkha, which is nirvana, is interesting and useful to remember here the Mahayana view of nirvana as not being different from samsara. The same thing is samsara or nirvana. According to the way of you look, it is subjectively or objectively. This Mahayana view was properly developed out of the idea found in the original Theravada Pali text, to which we have just briefly in our brief discussion, it inquires to think that Nirvana is the nature, or the extension of the craving. Nirvana is not the result of anything. If it won't be a result, then it won't be an effort produced by any cause. It won't be Sankara, virtue and condition. Nirvana is neither cause nor effect. It is beyond cause and effect. Truth is not a result or a effect. It is not virtue like a mystic spiritual mental state, such as jhanas or samadhi. Truth is nirvana. Truth nirvana. The only thing you can do is to see it, to realize it. There is a plan path leading to the realization of nirvana, but nirvana is not free, not the result of things, but you may get to the mountain along a path, but the mountain is not the result, not as a path, the path. You may see a light, but the light is not the result for your ever sight. Einstein. People often ask why the three after nirvana. This question cannot rise because nirvana is the ultimate truth. It is ultimate. There can be nothing after it. If there is anything after nirvana, then that all will be ultimate truth and non nirvana. Imam Chatra put this question to the Buddha in a different form. For what purpose is nirvana? The question presupposes something after nirvana when it postulates some proper or annual for it. So the Buddha's answer, Ratha, this question could not cut this limit. It is beside the point. One is the only life with nirvana as a finite plunge into the absolute truth as its goal, as its ultimate end. Some formula increasingly phrase expression like the Buddha's enter into nirvana or pre-nirvana after his death have given rise to many imaginary speculations about nirvana. The moment you heard the phrase that the Buddha enter into nirvana or pre-nirvana, you take nirvana to be a state or the realm or a position in which there is some sort of existence and trying to image it, it thinks or this thing or the word existence as is known to you. This formula expression enter into nirvana has no equivalent in the original text. There is no such a thing as entering into nirvana. After that, there is a word parinirvana used to denote the death of the Buddha or and her who has realized nirvana, but it does not mean entering into nirvana. Pre-nirvana simply means fully passed away, fully blown out, or fully extinct. Because the Buddha or the Arahant has not re-existed death after his death. Now another question arises: what happened to the Buddha or Arahant after his death? Pre-nirvana. This comes under the category of an unanswered question. Even when the Buddha spoke about this, he indicated that no one in our vocabulary could express what happened to the Arahant after his death. In reply to Pariwachaka, nay, Vasta, the Buddha said to them like born or not born do not apply in this case on Arhat, because those things matter, sensation, perception, mental activity, consciousness which the thing like born and not born are associated are complete, destroyed and uprooted, never to return after his death. A radar after his death is often compared to a fire gone out when the supply of wood is over, or the flame of a lamp gone out when the wick and iron are finished. Here, it should be clearly and distinctly understood without any confusion. that what is unfair for a flame or a fire goes out not nirvana, but the being composed of the five states who realize nirvana. This point has to be emphasized because many people, even so great scholars, have misunderstood and misinterpreted this blasphemy art referring on nirvana. Nirvana is never compared to a fire or a lamp gone out. There is another popular question. There is no self, no Atma who realize Nirvana. Before we go on to Nirvana, let us ask the question, who this now, who this now, if there is no self. We have seen earlier that it is the thought that in that there is no thinker behind the thought. In the same way, it Western realization that realize there is no other step behind the realization in the discussion of these ongoing horizontal class we saw the whether it may be whether being or change or system. If it is all the nature of rising is hard within itself, the nature, the being or its cessation is discussion. Now the cause samsara, the cycle of community is all this nature of rising. It might also be of the nature of cessation. Dukkha rises because of task and is free because of wisdom. Task and wisdom are formed within the five decades as we saw earlier. That the key or their rising as well as their or their cessation are both within the five decades. That is the real meaning of the forest well-known statement. Within the pattern long subject body itself, I postulate the world, the arising of the world, the cessation of the world, and the fact leading to the cessation of the world. This means that all the Four Noble Truths are found within the five decades as well within ourselves, yet the word loka is used in place of dukkha. That also means that there is no external power that produces the rising and the cessation of dukkha when wisdom is developed and cultivated according to the Fourth Noble Truth. The next to that taken as is seeing the secret of life, the reality of things as they are. When this secret is discovered, when the truth is seen, or the force within firstly produce the continuity of samsara in illusion because come and is faithful or producing any more karmas formation because there is no more illusion, no more task for continuity. It is like a matter, the sea which is caught with the cause of the secret of this malady is discovered and seen by the creature. In almost all regions, the summer form can be attained only after death, but nirvana can be realized in the very life. It is not necessary to wait till you die to attain it. He who has realized the true nirvana is the happiest being in the world. He is free from all complex and obsession, the worry and trouble that torment others. His matter had its purpose. He does not refund the past, nor does he brought over the future. He lives fully in the present. Therefore, the appearance and enjoying things in the present sense without such projection. He is joyful, external, enjoyful, the pure life. His faculty is free from his anxiety, sickness, and peaceful. As the his from people, sublet desire, hatred, ignorance, conceit, praise, and all such a development is pure and general, pure universal love, compassion, kindness, sympathy, understanding, and tolerance, tolerance. His service to others is of the pure, for they have to thought or self, he gain nothing, accumulate nothing, not give anything special because he is free from all illusion of these that the task of becoming. Nirvana is beyond all reality and relatively it is therefore beyond our conception of good and evil, right and wrong, existence, non-existence, even the word happiness, sukha, which is used to describe Nirvana has an entirely different sense here. Saripura once said, "Oh friend, Nirvana is happier, Nirvana is happier." Then Buddha says, "But friend, Saripura, what happiness can it be if there is no sensation?" Saripura's reply was highly philosophical and beyond ordinary comprehension that there is no sensation is happiness. Nirvana is beyond logic and reasoning at the Kawasata. Reasoning at the Kawasata. However, what we may initially often as a word intellectual, but stay in highly speculated discussion regarding Nirvana or ultimate truth or reality, we shall never understand it the way a child in this Kanakra should not quarrel about the theory of relativity. Instead, he followed his study patiently and lightly, diligently. One day, he may understand is nirvana is to be realized by the wise within themselves. The second, whatever, if we follow the path patiently and with diligence, pray and pure purify ourselves honestly, and attain the necessary spiritual development we may want it. The light is without ourselves, within ourselves, without testing ourselves with pursuing and high sounding words. Let us therefore now turn to the path which lead to the realization of nirvana. The fourth noble truth, Maka, the first. The fourth noble truth is that of the way leading to the cessation of dukkha, nirodha, kamini, dhyasasa. This is known as the middle path, Michima Pripara, because it avoids to me one esteem being the thought for happiness throughout the pleasure of the sense, which is low, common, and profitable, and the way of the ordinary people. The other being the search for happiness throughout such no modification is different from all sensation asceticism, which is painful, unworthy, and unprofitable, provided for having himself but trying these to extremely and having found them to be useless, the Buddha discovered throughout rational experience the middle path which give him vision and knowledge which lead to come insight into enlightenment, nirvana. This middle path is generally referred to the Noble Eightfold Path idea system markers because it's composed of eight categories or division, namely by understanding, by thought, by speech, by action, by livelihood, by effort, by mindfulness, and by concentration. Particularly, this whole teaching of the Buddha, to which he devoted himself during 45 years, just insanity in some way or other with the past. He explained it is different way and a different one to different people according to their state of their own performance and their capacity to understand and follow him. But the essence of these many thousand discourses figure in the Buddhist scripture is found in the Noble Eightfold Path. It should not be thought that the eighth category of division of the path should be followed and practiced one after the other in that numerical order as given in the usual list above, but they are to be developed more or less simultaneously, simultaneously as far as possible according to the capacity or touch each individual. They are all linked together and each has the cultivation of the other. The eight further aim at promoting and perfecting the three essentials of Buddhist teaching, training and discipline, namely etiquette, context, mental discipline, and wisdom. and it will therefore be more helpful for a question and better understanding of these eight divisions or different if we prove them and explain that according to these head ethical context is built on the first conception or universe of love and compassion for all living beings. Now with the Buddha's teaching is based is regardful that many scholars focus this great idea of the Buddha's teaching and includes in only dry philosophical and metaphysical interpretation when they talk and write about Buddhism. The Buddha gives his teaching for the good of the many, for the happiness of the many, out of compassion for the world. According to the Buddhism, for a man to be perfect, there are two qualities that he should develop equally: compassion on the other side and wisdom on the other. Here, compassion represents love, charity, kindness, tolerance, and noble quality on the emotional side or quality of the heart. While wisdom would stand for the intellectual side of that quality is on the mind. He want to develop only the emotion, neglecting the intellectual one may become a good heart for one that develop only the intellectual side, neglecting the economic emotional may turn one into a heart hatred, intolerance without feeling for others. Therefore, to be perfect, one has to develop both equally. That is the aim of the Buddhist way of life. It is wisdom and compassion are respectively linked together as we shall see later. Now, ethical context based on less and compassion are includes three pada or the nirvana, a four part, a four part, namely right speech, right action, and right livelihood. And right speech means abstention, abstention from telling lies, from backbiting and slander, and thought thus may be about hatred, enmity, dispute, and disharmonies among individuals or groups of people, from harsh rules, impolite metaphors, and abused language, and from each Indian useless and foolish behaviors and husband when one abstains from these from all wrong and harmful things, one naturally has to speak the truth, has to use one thus are friendly and benevolent, pleasant and gentle, meaningful and useful. One should not speak carelessly. Speech should be at the right time and right place. If one cannot say anything useful, one should keep no silence. Right action A as promoting morals, honorable and peaceful conduct is harmonious. At that we should abstain from destroying life, from stealing, from dishonest dealing, from illicit sexual intercourse, and that we should also help others to lead a peaceful and honorable life in the right way. Right livelihoods mean that one should not abstain from making one living towards a profession that brings harm to others, such as trading in iron and less wasteful, intoxicating drink, pollution, poison, killing animals, cheating, etc. And so this by a profession which is honorable, blameless, and in concern on the other, one can clearly see here that Buddhism is strongly opposed to any kind of war, which is laid down that trade in arms and lead weapons is an evil and unjust means of livelihood. These three aspects must be right action and right livelihood of these evil past continues ethics contest, ethical contest. It could be realized that the Buddha's ethics and moral context aim at promoting a happy and harmonious life both for the individual and for society. This moral context is considered as the indispensable foundation for all higher spiritual attainment. No spiritual development is possible without this moral basis. Thus can maintain discipline it which are include three other further or the eightfold path, namely right effort, right mind, balance, mindfulness, and alternatives and right concentration. Right effort is the energetic way to prevent events and the wholesome surround the mind from rising to gut to gut it all such an evil and unwholesome state that had already risen within a man and also to produce the certain cause to rise good and unwholesome state of mind no yet rising and to develop and bring to perfection the good and wholesome state of mind already present in the mind. Right mindfulness or alternative alternativeness is to be slightly was mindful and attentive with regards to the activities of the body, sensation or feelings, the activity of these mind, data and idea, thoughts, conception and things. The variety of concentration on breathing is one of these where no exercise consonant with the body for material development. There are several other ways of developing attention in relation to the body. A mode of meditation, a mode of meditation with regards to sensation and feeling. One should be clearly aware of a form of feeling and sensation, pleasant, unpleasant, and neutral, or how they appear and disappear within oneself. Questioning the attitude of mind, one should be aware when one mind is less true or not, given to hatred not, believe or not, distract or concentrate. In this way, one should be aware of all movement of mind, how they arise and disappear. As regards ideas throughout conception and sin, one should know their nature, how they appear and disappear, how they are developed, how they are sustained and destroyed, and so on. Therefore, for all mental culture are meditation are treated in detail in the Sutta Nipada Satipatthana Sutta, sitting at or meditation. Theta or plus pata or mental discipline is right concentration leading to the full state or jhana, generally called faith or resilient man in the first state or jhana, passionate desires and sudden unwholesome thoughts like sincere lust, ill will, rancor, worry, restlessness, and special doubt are desire, disgust, and feeling of joy and happiness are maintained along with certain mental activity. In the second state or intellectual activity or sperm tranquility and one finiteness of mind growth and the feeling of joy and happiness are still betrayed in the third state. The feeling of joy, which is an active sensation, also experience, which is expression of happiness, still remain in addition to mindful equanimity in this fourth state of jhana or sensation, even what happiness or joy and sorrow, experience only pure equanimity and awareness remaining. Thus, the mind is tension and discipline and development through right effort, right mindfulness and right concentration. The remaining two products, namely right thoughts and right understanding, go to continue with them. Right thoughts denote the thought of surplus reunification, denunciation, or detachment throughout all life and throughout all non-violence, which are extend to all beings. It is very interesting and important to note here that throughout all surplus, detachment, less and non-violence are crucial. On the side of Western, this clearly shows that true wisdom is unrolled with these noble qualities and that all those all surface desire, evil, hatred, and willfulness are the result of the lack of wisdom in all spheres of life, whether individual, social, or philosophy, political, right understanding the understanding of things as they are, and it is the full noble truth that explains things as they really are. Right understanding, therefore, is ultimately reduced to the understanding of the full noble truth. This one is the highest wisdom, which is seeing the ultimate reality. According to the Buddhism, there are two thorough understanding. What we generally call understanding is knowledge as accumulates memory and intelligence, grasping, or subject according to certain different detail. Each understanding is called penetration, penya, padiveda, seeing a thing in its true nature without name and label. This penetration is possible only when the mind is free from all impression and is purely devoted throughout meditation. From this bleak account of this past, one may see that it is a way of life to be followed, practiced, and developed by each individual. It is such discipline and body, embody what and mind, such development and such purification is nothing to do with read prayer, bleach prayer, worship or ceremony. It does thing in that sense it has nothing within may popularly be called riches. It is first leading to the realization of ultimate reality, to complete freedom, happiness, and peace, thoughts, moral, spiritual, and intellectual perfection. In Buddhist country, there are small, simple, and beautiful customs and some ceremony on religious occasions. They have little to do with their real fact, but they have their value in satisfying certain riches, emotion, and the needs of those who are less advanced and happier than groundly along the path. Gradually, with regards to the Four Noble Truths, we have four functions to perform. The first Noble Truth is dukkha, the nature of life is suffering, is sorrow, is joy, and joy is imperfection, and significance is impermanent and sustainability. With regards to this, our function is to understand it is a fact clearly and completely. The second Noble Truth is the origin of dukkha, which is desire, thus accompanied by all other passion, defilement, and impurity. A mere understanding of this fact is not sufficient. Here, our function is to discard it, to eliminate, to destroy, and eradicate it. The third noble truth is the cessation of dukkha, nirvana, the absolute truth, the ultimate reality. Here, our function is to realize it. The fourth noble truth is the path leading to the realization of nirvana. A merely knowledge of the first, however, complete were not true. In this case, our function is to follow in it and keep to it. Bhavitava